Welcome to Earthenkind Quests. My name is Mike. In this episode of Nemesis Battles, 5 characters investigate inside a haunted archive. A bladesinger wizard, an eldritch knight fighter, an oath of devotion paladin, a light domain cleric, and a path of the wild heart barbarian all are at level 9 using the rules in the 2024 Player's Handbook of Dungeons & Dragons. A secret underground archive is haunted by several poltergeists and ghosts, presented as challenge ratings 2 and 4 creatures in the 2025 Monster Manual. A few special features apply within the haunted archive, as you will see during the encounter. I will clarify what happens with the game mechanics and the story narrative while demonstrating in the 3D world builder and virtual tabletop system of RPG stories. For extra details about the characters, in the video text description, you can find the web links for the level 9 character sheets in D&D Beyond. You will notice that these characters are optimized in some but not all of their aspects. The ASMR bladesinger wizard is named Salamunglo. She brings all of the spellcasting power of any wizard, plus she gains the extra superpowered subclass features of a bladesinger with bonus to armor class, extra movement, use of her intelligence ability when making weapon attacks, and more, as presented in the 2025 Sourcebook of Heroes of Faerun. This character was quite different previously, and she retrained herself with the new ability scores, feats, and spellcasting choices in accordance with the updated 2025 version of the bladesinger subclass. The Wood Elf Eldritch Knight Fighter is named Eldritch. She is a dexterity-based melee combatant using her fast movement, 2-weapon fighting, and limited spellcasting primarily for defense and general utility. The High Elf Oath of Devotion Paladin is named Vona Navan. She is a charisma-based paladin, making her most effective with her spellcasting and divine features. She is not quite as effective as other paladins are with their strength-based melee attacks. The human light domain cleric is named Clara Cloudburn. She provides the healing magic and support of most clerics, along with extra fire damage spells and other features that allow her to persevere through most combat situations. The human path of the wild heart barbarian is named Anna Maul. She relies on her strength to solve most of her problems, combined with her barbarian rage, reckless attack, and heavy weapon master feat with her maul. Today, these 5 heroes are at the Spellsword Academy. The bladesinger wizard Salamunglo is the current leader and director of the academy. Salamunglo is happy to greet her former rival at the academy and now her friend and ally, the eldritch knight fighter Eldritch. After a series of adventures, Eldritch has come back to the Spellsword Academy. She proposes that she can work together with the bladesinger to train the next generations of academy students. The 2 most recent advanced students are here as well. They are the devotion paladin Vona Navan and the light cleric Clara Cloudburn. They completed a quest as their final trial to graduate from the academy. Now they are here to report about their quest. The quest involved confronting the notorious draconic sorcerer Sebastian Drake and stopping his plans for world domination. Along the way, the wild heart barbarian Anna Maul joined in the quest, and now she is here with her new friends at the Spellsword Academy. In her capacity as the Academy Director, the bladesinger wizard Salamunglo announces that tomorrow will be a day of celebration. The paladin Vona Navan and the cleric Clara Cloudburn will graduate with honors. The barbarian Anna Maul will be acknowledged formally as a friend of the Academy. The eldritch knight Eldritch will be welcomed back into the Spellsword Academy with a new title as a professor of arcane arts responsible for training the next generations of students. These festivities will proceed tomorrow. Today, though, Salamunglo wants to discuss a serious matter. Outside the halls of the Spellsword Academy, public opinion has shifted against the Academy. The farmers of the region no longer are producing the food supply for the academy, and instead they have moved to live elsewhere with a charismatic leader. The others verify this story. In particular, the dreaded Dragon's Heart tomb was broken open and its destructive energy seeped out and threatened the surrounding world. Apparently, the Spellsword Academy created this tomb long ago and then neglected to take care of it. The tomb has been closed again and it no longer poses a threat. Nonetheless, the farmers of the region already have moved to live in a new place with their charismatic leader at a magical lair. This leading figure has been amplifying the distrust about the Spellsword Academy, with hints about possibly launching an attack against the Academy. The description of this new charismatic leader seems to refer to someone known as the Fiend Warlock Belade Burns. Except for the barbarian Anna Maul, All of the other heroes here have encountered this warlock previously. The Wildheart Barbarian Anna Maul asks when was the first time when anyone here encountered the warlock. The warlock Belay Burns was a student at the Spellsword Academy many years ago. Sayla Moonglow and Eldritch remember generally about her, but they do not recall much detail about their interactions. The one part that they remember clearly is that Belay Burns was expelled from the Academy due to her unauthorized access into a secret area. Now as the current Academy Director, the bladesinger wizard Sayla Moonglow can read through the Academy records. Quickly she learns that years ago, Belay Burns accessed into a secret underground archive. This place is haunted by the spirits of scholars who attempted to read ancient texts that they should not have read. They were driven into madness, and now they are undead spirits haunting this place. The Academy records show that the previous Academy directors created a powerful magical seal, preventing anyone again from entering into the secret underground archive. The 5 heroes agree that they should investigate, searching for clues about whatever the warlock Belay Burns may have done inside this secret underground archive so many years ago. The adventurers find the underground location. Nobody else has been down here during the last several years. The door leading into the secret archive has been sealed with a magical ward created by the previous Academy directors. The bladesinger wizard Sayla Moonglow studies the magical ward, aiming to learn how to deactivate it. She rolls an Arcana skill check. With a result of 26, she learns that she could cast Dispel Magic, but the difficulty will be the equivalent of attempting to dispel a 9th level spell. Sayla Moonglow prepares first with casting Enhance Ability on herself, using a 2nd level spell slot. With her concentration for the next 1 hour, she gains advantage on ability checks using 1 ability. She chooses her Intelligence ability that will be necessary for attempting to dispel the magical ward. Now casting Dispel Magic with a 3rd level spell slot, the bladesinger needs to roll an Intelligence ability check. With the advantage of the Enhanced Ability spell, a result of 20 succeeds. The magical ward is dispelled. The paladin Vonanavan and the cleric Cloudburn stop their companions from opening the door right now. They are concerned about the ancient spirits of the Academy scholars who have been driven mad and who have haunted this place. The eldritch knight fighter, Eldritch, understands that the team should be prepared for a battle against undead creatures. As a precaution, she casts Longstrider on herself, without using a spell slot, instead using her Wood Elf lineage spellcasting. During the next 1 hour, without concentration, she gains a bonus of 10 feet to her movement, now at 55 feet. Eldritch uses a bonus action to cast the spell Jump on herself, using a 1st level spell slot. For the next 1 minute, again without concentration, once during each of her turns, she can use 10 feet of her movement to jump 30 feet. The Oath of Devotion paladin, Vonanavan, uses a bonus action to expend 1 use of her Channel Divinity. She activates her Divine Sense. During the next 10 minutes, she can identify the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead creatures within 60 feet of herself. As her action, Vonanavan casts the spell Protection from Evil and Good, using a 1st level spell slot as a magical ward to protect the Wildheart Barbarian. During the next 10 minutes, with the paladin's concentration, the barbarian will be protected against several creature types, importantly here including undead creatures. For the duration, these creatures will suffer disadvantage on attack rolls against the barbarian. Meanwhile, the barbarian Anna Maul cannot be possessed, charmed, or frightened by these creatures. Now that everyone is prepared, the Wildheart Barbarian Anna Maul opens the doors into the secret archive. The 5 heroes enter into this ancient place. The door closes behind them. The secret underground archive consists of a single spacious room. Bookshelves are stacked up along the walls with ladders for access into the higher portions. Several points of light illuminate the space due to the multiple individual castings of continual flame. The central area appears to be the primary study space. Tables, chairs, and points of light are arranged around here. 5 ghostly apparitions hover and drift through the furniture while they move toward the characters. They are ghosts. Right now they are in the ethereal plane. For ghosts specifically, when they are in the ethereal plane, they remain visible in the prime material plane. During this time, they cannot affect or be affected by anything here. The devotion paladin, Vonanavan, announces that other undead creatures are here as well. She can detect them with her divine sense. She knows their locations, although her companions cannot see the invisible creatures at this time. The paladin knows the locations of 5 poltergeists. They are in the prime material plane, but they are choosing to be invisible. The characters want to investigate inside the archive and to learn what the warlock Belly Burns had studied in here years ago. However, they first will need to contend with the undead spirits of this place. The poltergeists and the ghosts are driven by their madness. They are hostile against any intruders, especially against the living. All of the participants roll for initiative. I am interpreting that the paladin has alerted about the general locations of the invisible poltergeists, and the poltergeists did not use the hide action. The Wildheart barbarian rolls the initiative with advantage due to her feral instinct feature. All of the other participants roll without advantage or disadvantage. The initiative rolls are 15 for the bladesinger, 23 for the eldritch knight, 8 for the devotion paladin, 11 for the cleric, and 17 for the barbarian with her advantage. The 5 poltergeists roll 8, 4, 4, 3, and 19. The 5 ghosts roll 15, 13, 7, 18, and 11. For simplicity, with so many creatures here, I will go with the median rolls. All of the poltergeists will use the median initiative roll of 4, all of the ghosts will use the median initiative roll of 13. As part of using the alert feat, the eldritch knight and the barbarian swap their initiative rolls with the cleric and the paladin. The cleric will act first, followed by the paladin, the bladesinger, all 5 of the ghosts, the eldritch knight, the barbarian, and lastly the 5 poltergeists. The 5 heroes understand that the undead spirits are tied to this archive. They cannot leave this place. While they are here, they are specially empowered in 3 ways. First, the undead spirits gain advantage on all of their attack rolls, and they impose disadvantage on saving throws against their effects. Second, they can be affected by the cleric's turn undead feature as normal, but then each of them can recover from the effects at the ends of their next turns. Third, each undead creature here can regenerate hit points. At the start of its turn, as long as it retains at least 1 hit point, then an undead spirit can regenerate 1 die 10 hit points. In round 1, the light domain cleric, Clara Cloudburn, notes that she did not expect to move into a haunted environment today. She did not prepare some of the most useful cleric spells for this encounter. The cleric can see the 5 ghosts, and she understands that they are in the ethereal plane right now. While the ghosts are in the ethereal plane, they cannot be affected by anything in the prime material plane, meaning that the cleric cannot do anything to affect them right now. Clara Cloudburn uses her action to cast See Invisibility, expending a 2nd level spell slot. She creates a burst of light that only she can see. During the next 1 hour, the light cleric can see all invisible creatures, such as the poltergeists who are here. Furthermore, the light cleric can see into the ethereal plane, where the ghosts currently are hovering. The cleric moves closer toward the paladin in order to position herself within the 10-foot radius of the paladin's aura of protection that grants a bonus with all saving throws. The Oath of Devotion paladin, Vona Navan, moves to attack the nearest poltergeist. With her divine sense, she can detect the locations of all of the undead creatures here, even if they are invisible. As part of the attack action, the Devotion paladin empowers her longsword as a sacred weapon, expending 1 use of her channel divinity. During the next 10 minutes, Vona Navan adds her charisma modifier to her attack rolls with her sacred weapon longsword. The 2 attack rolls are 29 and 17, both hitting against the poltergeist armor class of 12. The 2 hits cause 15 slashing damage, reduced by half, given the poltergeist incorporeal nature, down to 7 damage. With 1 of those successful hits, the paladin uses her bonus action to apply a divine smite without using a spell slot, instead using her paladin's smite feature. The divine smite produces extra damage against an undead creature, here producing 21 radiant damage. The poltergeist falls with 0 hit points. It has been defeated. The undead spirit wails. It separates from the haunted archive. It departs from this world. The paladin moves into a position for her aura of protection to guard all of her allies. The bladesinger wizard, Salamunglo, begins her turn with her bonus action to start her blade song. With the new 2025 version, during the next 1 minute, the blade song grants 10 feet of extra movement, a bonus of +5 to the bladesinger's armor class, an option to use her intelligence for her weapon attacks and damage rolls, and a bonus of +5 with constitution saving throws for concentrating on spells. I am interpreting that the bladesinger already prepared with mage armor on herself at the beginning of the day, boosting her armor class up to 13, plus her dexterity modifier, and now adding her intelligence modifier with the active blade song, up to a total armor class of 20. Salamunglo understands that she cannot affect the ghosts while they are in the ethereal plane. Furthermore, she cannot see the invisible poltergeists here. In this case, the bladesinger wizard prepares a ready action to cast the spell Steel Wind Strike, requiring a 5th level spell slot. Whenever all 5 of these ghosts will materialize into this world, then the bladesinger will complete the casting of the spell. In order to use the ready action in this way, the bladesinger needs to terminate her concentration on the previous enhance ability spell, and she needs to maintain her concentration until the time of the triggering event of when all 5 of the ghosts will materialize here. She will need to use her reaction for completing the ready action. The 5 ghosts are the next to act. One ghost moves into a new position as it faces itself towards the group of adventurers. It ends its etherealness, and now it can affect creatures in the prime material plane while also being affected by them. The ghost mutters incoherent words of its madness, compounded over its years of undead anguish. Its face shows the impossibly endless black space of a scholar's mind now consumed by hatred for the living. Within a 60-foot cone, all of the non-undead creatures that can see the ghost need to roll wisdom saving throws to avoid being frightened. All of the characters are within this area. They roll with disadvantage due to the special empowerment of the Haunted Archive. However, they all gain the +5 bonus of the Paladin's Aura of Protection. The bladesinger rolls 18 for a success. The eldritch knight rolls 8 for a failure, but her mage slayer feat allows to succeed instead. The paladin rolls 15 and succeeds. The cleric rolls 17 and succeeds. The barbarian cannot be frightened by an undead creature due to the paladin's concentration on protection from evil and good. All of the characters avoid being frightened, and they avoid the psychic damage of the ghost's horrific visage. Furthermore, they gain immunity against the horrific visage of this particular ghost for the next 24 hours. The other 4 ghosts move into melee contact and they end their etherealness. This event triggers the ready action of the bladesinger. The bladesinger uses her reaction to complete the casting of the spell, Steel Wind Strike. With this spell, Sailor Moonglow can make a spell attack roll against 5 different targets and then teleport into a space within 5 feet of one of those targets. Aiming against the 5 different ghosts, the attack rolls are 21, 23, 19, 13, and 26. All of the attacks hit against the armor class of 11. I am rolling the damage just once and applying to all 5 of the hits. Each ghost suffers 35 force damage. Ghosts can resist most damage types, but they suffer the full amount of the force damage, now each retaining only 10 of the total 45 hit points. At the end of the Steel Wind Strike spell, Sailor Moonglow could teleport into melee contact with any one of these targets. She decides to remain in her current position within the Paladin's Aura of Protection. These 4 ghosts are no longer ethereal. They each attempt to possess their targets. The bladesinger wizard, the eldritch knight fighter, the light domain cleric, and the wildheart barbarian need to roll charisma saving throws to avoid becoming possessed. They gain the benefits of the Paladin's Aura of Protection, but they roll with disadvantage due to the empowerment of the Haunted Archive. The bladesinger rolls 6. She is possessed by the ghost. The eldritch knight rolls 8 and could fail, but she uses her indomitable feature to roll again with a bonus of her fighter level, resulting in 18 for a success. The cleric rolls 20 and succeeds. The barbarian currently cannot be possessed by any undead creature thanks to the Protection from Evil and Good spell. At this point, the ghost and the poltergeist recognize that the barbarian is protected by a divine energy, similar to the paladin's divine aura of protection. The ghost seizes possession of the bladesinger wizard. The undead spirit disappears into the body, and now it controls the bladesinger's movements and actions. Sailor Moonglow is incapacitated. She loses control of her blade song. She is aware of what the ghost is doing. The ghost retains all of its statistics, but it uses the bladesinger's speed as well as her strength, dexterity, and constitution. The other ghosts use their incorporeal movement to sink down beneath the floor of the archive. Even though they have lost their etherealness, they retain their incorporeal movement. They cannot be targeted by opportunity attacks because by the time when they exit the reach of the heroes, then already they have submerged beneath the full cover of the floor. At the ends of their turns, these ghosts are inside solid objects of the floor, and therefore they suffer 8 force damage. The eldritch knight fighter, Eldritch, is not equipped with any means to intervene with the ghost possessing the bladesinger. In this case, she moves to interpose herself between the bladesinger and the paladin. A poltergeist technically could attempt an opportunity attack against her, but it is not prepared with anything that might be effective here. In her new position, Eldritch makes the dodge action. She imposes disadvantage on incoming attack rolls, and she gains advantage on dexterity saving throws until the start of her next turn. She can see a glimmer of recognition in the bladesinger's eyes, but she knows that Sailor Moonglow currently is possessed. The Wildheart Barbarian, Anna Maul, begins her turn with a bonus action to start her Barbarian Rage. She uses the Bear option of her Rage of the Wilds. She gains resistance to all damage types except for Force, Necrotic, Psychic, and Radiant. The Barbarian moves into melee contact with the possessed bladesinger. Instead of making 2 weapon attacks that potentially could harm the bladesinger, the Barbarian attempts to grapple the bladesinger. With the first attempt, the possessed bladesinger rolls a dexterity saving throw. In this situation, the Paladin's Aura of Protection does not apply. The roll is 9, indicating a failure. The Barbarian grapples the possessed bladesinger. I will clarify about the grappled condition whenever certain parts might become relevant. For now, the relevant part is that the Barbarian can move at half of her speed while grappling and moving the bladesinger along with her. The Barbarian Anna Maul does not use her second attack. She does not want to cause direct harm to the bladesinger, at least not right now. Anna Maul wants to move the bladesinger into a space between the cleric and the paladin. She hopes that at least one of her allies can use a divine power to do something to dispel the ghost who is possessing the bladesinger. Next in the initiative count are the poltergeists. The paladin already destroyed 1 poltergeist and 4 are remaining. They can identify that the paladin is concentrating on the spell of protection from evil and good, currently shielding the barbarian. They fly into attack positions with lines of sight at the paladin, and they throw nearby books or candles. They make attack rolls with advantage, given their empowerment inside the Haunted Archive. The 4 attack rolls with the empowerment advantage are 10, 23, 16, and 21. 2 of the 4 attacks hit against the paladin's armor class of 17. In total, the 2 hits produce 17 bludgeoning damage. With the 2 instances of damage, the paladin rolls 2 constitution saving throws to concentrate on the protection from evil and good spell. She rolls with the advantage of her warcaster feat, resulting in 24 and 21. The concentration continues. Now the 4 remaining poltergeists use their telekinetic thrust against the intruders. The targets roll their strength saving throws to resist the effects, rolling with disadvantage again due to the empowerment of the undead spirits inside the Haunted Archive. The paladin rolls 9 and fails. The cleric rolls 11 and fails. The eldritch knight rolls 15 and succeeds. The barbarian's rage advantage cancels the disadvantage, resulting in 15 for a success. The paladin and the cleric suffer 12 force damage, and they are pushed back 30 feet. The paladin rolls another constitution saving throw to concentrate on the protection from evil and good spell. With the warcaster advantage, a result of 12 is enough to succeed. The poltergeists use their remaining movement to drift downward into the floor of the archive. They can do so with their incorporeal movement. However, they each suffer 3 points of force damage at the ends of their turns inside here. In round 2, the light domain cleric Clara Cloudburn starts her turn with 72 of her total 84 hit points. Even with her see invisibility spell, she cannot see the ghost and the poltergeist, who now are beneath the floor and behind total cover. The cleric moves back into her previous position. As her action, the cleric prepares a ready action to use her channel divinity to turn undead. Clara Cloudburn draws on divine power to repel the undead creatures and drive them away. She holds the divine energy, keeping it stored until she can see all 4 of the ghosts that have moved beneath the floor. When all of those ghosts will be visible and targetable again, then the cleric will use her reaction to complete the ready action of Turn Undead, targeting whatever undead creatures are within her range of 30 feet, including the ghost currently possessing the bladesinger. Whenever the event with the Turn Undead will happen, then I will describe the details of how it works. The Oath of Devotion Paladin, Vona Navan, begins her turn with 47 of her total 76 hit points. She considers that her top priority right now is to end the ghost's possession of the bladesinger wizard. She moves back into her previous position among her allies. The paladin is aware that the spell of protection from evil and good can prevent a ghost from possessing someone, as in the case of the spell protecting the barbarian right now. After a person already is possessed, though, then the spell only can offer advantage on a later saving throw to end the situation. Unfortunately, the ghost possession of the bladesinger does not allow for a later saving throw. In this case, Vona Navan concludes that the spell will not help in the current situation with the bladesinger. Vona Navan does not want to prepare a ready action or to do anything that would end her concentration on the protection from evil and good spell that currently is active with protecting the barbarian. The paladin decides to use the dodge action. She imposes disadvantage on incoming attack rolls, and she gains advantage on dexterity saving throws. The bladesinger wizard, Sailor Moonglow, is aware that the ghost is possessing her and controlling her body movements and actions. The bladesinger is incapacitated, and she cannot do anything during her turn. In the initiative order, the ghosts are the next to act. The ghost possessing the bladesinger becomes frustrated that the inhabited body is being grappled by the barbarian. While grappled, the target's speed is 0, and it suffers disadvantage on attack rolls against any target except for the source of the grapple, meaning the barbarian. The ghost uses its own statistics, except for using the bladesinger's movement, strength, dexterity, and constitution. I interpret that the ghost can make its 2 withering touch attacks against the barbarian. It rolls with advantage due to the empowerment within the Haunted Archive. The 2 advantage attack rolls are 20 and 20, both hitting against the barbarian's armor class of 15. In total, the 2 hits cost 45 necrotic damage. The barbarian's Rage of the Wild grants resistance to most damage types, but she suffers the full amount of the necrotic damage, now standing with 70 of her total 115 hit points. The other 4 ghosts are beneath the floor of the archive. They sustained some damage when they ended their previous turns inside here. Now they start their turns with using one of the special features of the empowerment of this place. They each regenerate 7 hit points, now with 9 of their total 45 hit points. These 4 ghosts drift upwards from the floor. As soon as they become visible, then they trigger the prepared ready action of the light cleric to complete her channel divinity with turn undead. With her reaction, Cleric Cloudburn channels the divine energy to repel the ghosts, including the 4 that are visible and the one that is possessing the bladesinger. The ghosts need to roll wisdom saving throws, attempting to resist the cleric's holy energy. The ghost possessing the bladesinger rolls 8 and fails. The others roll 2, 11, and 10, all with failures. All of the ghosts are turned. Furthermore, the cleric can apply the Seer Undead feature, burning them with 23 radiant damage. All 5 of the ghosts are reduced to 0 hit points. Howls of unholy madness fill the air. These undead spirits vanish from the world. The bladesinger no longer is possessed. She regains control of herself. The eldritch night fighter, Eldritch, still cannot find anything especially productive or effective to do here. She decides to repeat the dodge action. The Path of the Wildheart Barbarian, Anna Maul, is relieved to see that the bladesinger no longer is possessed by a ghost. She releases the grapple. Anna Maul follows the Eldritch Knight's example. She uses the dodge action. As her bonus action, Anna Maul continues her barbarian rage into her next turn. The poltergeists are the next to act. Currently they are hidden beneath the floor of the archive. At the starts of their turns, they each regenerate 6 hit points. Each poltergeist now retains the maximum 22 hit points. In principle, they could continue to hide inside various objects without any real danger to themselves. The poltergeists recognize that they will not be able to cause much harm against this particular group of intruders. Without the ghosts here to present more of a threat, the poltergeists decide to retreat into the floor or into the bookshelves, seething with their hatred of the living. The area becomes quiet. At least for now, the archive no longer is dangerous. The characters can investigate in the archive without any time pressure. They want to learn what the warlock, Blade Burns, accessed within this archive years ago, just prior to when the archive was sealed by a magical ward. Possibly, learning more about this event can help to understand about the rumors of the warlock planning an attack against the Spellsword Academy. The team will need some hours to search and study, but eventually they can identify that one book appears to be the most recently moved, showing measurably less amounts of dust settled over it. This tome contains a text that was written by the original founder of the Spellsword Academy. Reading this text will expose the bladesinger to the same risk that drove the previous scholars into madness and eventually transformed them into undead spirits. Sailor Moonglow rolls an intelligence saving throw with the bonus of the Paladin's Aura of Protection. A result of 28 is successful, indicating that the bladesinger can read the text safely for the next 1 hour. Beyond this time limit though, the bladesinger will suffer extreme psychic damage and the possibility of succumbing to the arcane madness. The limit of 1 hour is enough to learn that the book contains 100 chapters, each written by the original founder of the Spellsword Academy, and sharing a tale of a battle between the Academy founder and a serious opponent. One chapter attracts the attention of the adventurers. The Academy founder learned the true name of the arch-fiend who was on the verge of gaining enough power to enter into the mortal world. With knowing the one true name of this fiend, the Academy founder learned the only one way to defeat the arch-fiend, who otherwise would be immortal. Given these circumstances, the fiend abandoned the plan of entering into the mortal world. The true name was written in only one place, but it is not within this book. The 5 heroes here suspect that the arch-fiend is the same fiend patron of the warlock Blade Burns. In this case, the Warlock probably is being compelled to attack at the Academy campus in order to find and destroy wherever the Academy founder long ago may have written the one true name of the Archfiend. The 5 heroes decide that they will need to rest overnight to regain their full powers. The Light Cleric, Clara Cloudburn, will study the Hallow spell so that she can protect the secret archive and effectively dispatch any lingering undead creatures in here. The Bladesinger wizard Salamunglo will consider how to create a new magical ward to protect the area. Otherwise, the heroes will prepare themselves for an upcoming battle, as they suspect that the Warlock could attack at the Academy at any time. Until now, nobody at the Spellsword Academy was aware of this story about the Academy founder knowing the one true name of an Archfiend. Perhaps the name was written and hidden inside the secret archive. Perhaps it was hidden in another place. This search will begin soon enough. Tonight the characters need to rest. They are not sure about when the Warlock, Billy Burns, might launch an attack at the Spellsword Academy. Our story will continue with Nemesis Battles. For now, in the comment section, please share your ideas and suggestions about what could have happened differently and what could happen during other episodes. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.